if you're watching this video, which I think you might be, I have a strong suspicion anyways, then you might be in the market for a guitar multi-effect amp and cab sim floorboard sort of product. And I know the market is crowded with these things. There's a lot of really, really good options. But I can tell you right now and right here, without a shadow of a doubt, without a quiver in my voice, without a single compromise of my convictions, that the Headrush Core is one of them. Were you expecting a hard pitch, a hard sale? I'm not going to do that. I never do that to you. It's up to you to figure out what would best fit your playing style, your rig, your needs. But I can say that I think the Headrush Core, after spending a couple weeks with it, prepping to do this video, I'm impressed. I think it deserves a spot right next to all of the other well-established big name brand multi-effect amp and cab simulator floorboards. Like it sounds great. There's some really great sounds locked up in here. And on top of that, you've got amp cloning. You can clone your own amps. You can borrow your buddy's amp and clone it all you want and then have clones of that amp. You can buy amps and go like, I don't want it, but I cloned it, and then sell it or return it or whatever. Don't do anything shady. Come on. Don't abuse, retail return policies or whatever. Also, it has a full vocal effects suite. You can fully process your vocals. So I honestly think that if you are a singer-songwriter or you just like to incorporate vocals into your playing at home, you're jamming with friends, you're gigging, you're recording, etc., this might actually be at the top of your list because the vocal stuff is pretty great. And I'm not a singer, so maybe my opinion doesn't matter, but I've been having a great time messing with the vocal stuff. I spent maybe 2 or 3 hours the other day just having fun, like running harmonizers and, pitch correctors and things like that, auto-tune. It's got Antares auto-tune built into it. Can I talk right today? I'm going to give myself permission to talk right today. So anyways, let's get into it. You want to hear what this thing sounds like. You want to know about its features and its functions. I'm not going to be able to show all of them because with products like this, multi-effects, it would take 10 hours for me to film a video that shows everything. You don't want that. I don't want that. We're going to focus on the core elements, the things that brought you here today. And if you want to read the manual, go for it. Go read the manual, find out all the nitty gritty, but I'm going to scrape the surface as well as I can anyways. So anyways, let's get started. I'm going to use my Fender Player Plus Strat because it's an excellent demo platform. And I'm not going to do the thing that most demo channels do where you just scroll through factory presets, going through all of them. I've built my own presets that I'm going to show off. And of course, I'm going to start with a surf patch because if you're here and you know this channel, you probably already are asking the question, Ryan, tell us, does it drip? Yep, it drips. It has a pretty nice drippy spring reverb. That has been the next single. Here is the bridge humbucker. Single coil setting on the bridge. Surf confirmed. So, This huge thing here, as you've probably figured out, is a touchscreen. And it's a really nice feeling touchscreen, by the way. It's got like the full like iPad quality thing going on. They didn't cheap out. It feels really responsive. If you want to like micro adjust things, you can like just, here, I'll pull it back. You can roll the tip of your finger around to do micro adjustments. Like, it's really sensitive, it's really responsive. If you don't want to use the touchscreen for something, you can select whatever you want and use this master knob here. So anyways, the spring reverb, there are a ton of different settings here. Some of them drip, some of them don't. I am using the warm wash. There is bright and tight, which has more of a clicky granular thing going on. I'm not going to go through all these, but there's a lot. There's a lot to mess with here. Stereo. Get that decay up. We'll go back and reset the patch to my preset settings and explore the rest of it. What amp am I using? I am using a 65 Black Super Reverb. You want to take a look at the list. There's a ton to work with here. Lots and lots of amps, and you can load in, you know, like IRs, and you can model whatever amp you happen to have around. You can clone stuff, you know. What cab am I using? I am using a Cali Basic 215 with a ribbon mic on it. There's all sorts of different settings for everything down here that you could spend your entire life exploring. I've also got vibrato from the amp, which I can control with a foot switch. And I have a dirty boost if I want some Link Ray sounds. And I even have an octave fuzz hiding right here. I can turn it on with the foot switches by holding this to get to the other bank. Or I could turn it on and off with my finger, but it's a floorboard. You want to be able to use the switches, right? Oops. There we go. But enough of that. Let's get into another patch that I made. I made a high gain patch. Was that anything? I don't know if that was anything at all. All right, let's explore this patch so I can show you what I'm doing here. As you can see, I've got two amplifiers, two amp heads into two cabs, two microphones. This is an 82 lead 800 running into a 4x12 65 watt with a ribbon mic on it, and then a 97 RB 01B Blue, whatever that means. I don't know what it is. I just liked the sound of it as it combined with that other amp. It's got a 4x12 Classic 30 with a ribbon mic. I'm a big fan of ribbon mics. I don't know if you know that about me. I like ribbon mics on amps. I don't like talking good though, apparently. I've got a splash of reverb after it. A bright hall set to the arena setting because of course. There is a compressor at the front of the chain. A tube screamer right there, a green distortion. And I've got a wah hidden here. And of course, I'm controlling that with my Moog expression pedal here. Honestly, my favorite expression pedal of all time. I've had a bunch, and that's the one I keep going back to. It just seems to work with everything. And then I have a flange right there. Oh, and I have a tape echo hidden right down there. So there's a lot going on. And I still have 6 slots left. I could really max this out with all sorts of stuff. Let's check out a few other things that could be hidden in here. Let's do a pitch effect. Let's do a whammy. There we go. I'm just making noise now. Let's turn off the whammy. And find a different delay. Time warp? What's time warp? Oh, it's got an expression on it. I don't know if I'm ready for that one. Let's just do a simple analog delay. What have we got in here? Party verb. Let's have a reverb party. Oh, man. How do you choose? There's so many different settings. Minor glitch. So yeah, so far surf, high gain, and ambient nonsense. Like, it's the sandbox. You can do whatever you want. There's so much stuff to pick from here. Amps, cabs, amp clones, vocal stuff, overdrive, distortion, EQ, compressors, delays, reverbs, chorus, phase, flanger, vibe, trim, rotary, wah, filter, pitch, volume dynamics, utility, and effects loop stuff. But let's move on to the next part. I want to talk about amp cloning. I've already cloned the two Princetons. And I have a preset for that. I'll show you what I've got here. Here is my black Princeton clone. You can see all the settings. There's not a lot to worry about here because it's just a clone of the amp. You set up a system with mics on your amps and running cables around and stuff like that, and it passes a signal through the amp into the mic, back into this, and it processes it and turns it into a clone. And then I've got my blonde Princeton, that one over there, here. Same sort of thing. And I'm running them the way I would run them in regular demo recordings. I even have a 10-band EQ after each one with the extreme lows pulled out because it managed to model the low end, like flubby hump that sometimes I get with the Princetons that I pull out in post in every single video. The mics is what does it. The mic gets it. They pick up such a wide range that they get a lot of lows and I have to pull them out. So anyways, what else do I have on here? I don't have anything else on right now. It is just the amps. Here they are in the neck position. Here you go, digital two Princetons. That was the neck pickup. Here is the bridge. I got some other stuff on this patch. I have a tremolo on one side. Of course, I have a spring reverb because you know me. Also have a tape echo with a generous amount of wow and flutter. Take off that trim and the reverb so you can hear that. I even have a DoD 250 here. I'm not super happy with it. You can clone drive pedals with the Headrush core. So I might try to do my own clones of my own 250s because it sounds the way other people set up their 250s, but I don't know, I'm so specific and I'm so like, but I have the option to do it. I can do it. I can model my own 250s if I want to. See, this thing has the gain at 3. I can tell that when they modeled it, the gain wasn't at 3%. It was much higher. So this is a work in progress. But anyways, let's move on to actually cloning an amp. I have an amp that I've always wished I could have its sounds in pedal form or in model form, in digital form. I want to have it recreated so I can use it. But it's kind of unconventional. It's an amp that I used before I had Princetons, before I had a surf band, when I was just starting to write songs for my surf band that didn't exist yet. Are you ready for it? I don't know if you are. Here it is, the Roland Microcube battery amp. You can see the batteries right back there. Duracells. Get that Duracell tone. I don't even use this on its amp settings. It has a black panel setting, a JC Clean, acoustic, Brit Combo, classic, and rectifier. But the setting that I use is the last setting, is the microphone setting, because it sounds so nasty and so gritty. It has this perfect torn speaker, Link Ray / Kinks sort of vibe to it. And then you throw some reverb on top of it. Mwah. I love that sound. I've thought about gutting this just to put it, like rehouse it into a pedal. But instead of doing that, I'm gonna try to clone it. So let's start a new patch here. By the way, I wanna show something really quick. When you start a new patch, you can choose different signal paths. I'm gonna do the straight path because why not? But you can do middle split if you want to do stereo like mixes and parallel mixing and stuff like that. Immediate split where the split is in the beginning. Dual straight path for 2 guitars. Maybe a guitar and a bass. You could do that if you want to, or you could run a keyboard through this or something like that. Straight path for vocal, and then dual straight path for vocal and guitar. We're just gonna do straight path. Now we are going to go up here. You see this little waffle icon up here? That takes you to all of your deep dive settings. You've got a looper here. You've got a practice tool, which is really cool. I'll show that really quick. I've already got a song loaded in here, but you can load files onto it and jam along and change the speed and change the volume and control it with your foot switch. So if there's a song you're trying to learn, you just load it onto here and it's got a practice tool built in. Tuner, metronome. Apparently you can load your own like PNG into the lock screen. This is the lock screen firmware update, Bluetooth settings, set list stuff, global settings, but then you've got the amp cloner. Give me a moment to set this up. So the way this works is the Headrush feeds a signal into the amp, which then plays it through its speaker into the microphone, which goes back into the Headrush, and it captures a clone of the sound of your amp. So we're going to select amp and cab instead of amp/preamp or pedal only. There is a connection diagram to show you how to do it. Let's test it real quick. Oh no. I think I just ran out of battery on it. I'll go get some fresh batteries. Replacing these Duracells with Kirkland's. Got that Costco brand battery. Gonna be powering this amp. Get that Kirkland tone. So trashy sounding. Here we go. Next up, start cloning. This will take a couple minutes. The suspense is killing me. What's it gonna sound like? Is it gonna sound as trashy as the real thing? All right, let's save it. Micro mic. Exit. Browse. Is it in there? Micro mic. We've got it. Let's build a whole new rig around that. Micro mic. Load. All right, moment of truth. Here we go. Is it gonna sound like the Microcube? It needs more gain. But so far I'm gonna say, yeah, it kind of sounds like it. Yeah. And I've actually got more controls than I do on the Microcube. I've got middle, treble, bass, presence. I don't have that on the Microcube. Oh, that's trashy. Sag? I can sag it? Okay, what the heck does chug do? All right, let's build a patch around it. It's got that torn speaker vibe. I love that. See, this is like people who clone their amps and do models of their amps. They're usually like trying to do high-end stuff. Like, oh yeah, I've got this great model of this, $3,000 amp or whatever. I want to clone battery amps so that I can use them in practical settings. Oh, I like that. It needs a reverb. Let's give it a spring reverb. How does it sound after? bad. Not bad at all. I'm happy. Are you guys happy? I hope you are. How dirty can we get with this? Pretty dirty. What else do I want to throw at this? Let's go back to pitch stuff. And we'll do, let's do harmonies. Fourth to fifth. What else can we do? Oh, I'm having a bad idea. What if I did 2 amps? Round fuzz? Back to this thing. I like the name Time Warp, but I don't know if I want to mess with it. Oh, I see the problem. I don't really have my head wrapped around how to use that yet, but I like the sounds I'm getting. All right, so there you go. I did it. I cloned a nasty, dirty little battery amp. Okay, just checking the width on that. Let's move on to the vocal processing stuff. I'm not a singer. I have sung in the past though, but in like a punk context. But I have been having a lot of fun with the singing stuff. Let me find these presets. I gotta get through the bass stuff. Here we go. That's fun. So let's get into some settings here. This is set to the key of E. I want it to be in G, even though it's in chromatic right now. Let's take it to a major. There we go. Turn off that harmonic so you can actually hear it. All sorts of different settings here. I actually don't know what type of voice I have. Am I a tenor? I don't know. Low male? I don't think I'm a bass. No, I can't be a soprano. I'm going to leave it on low male. That sounds right. Got a humanizer? I don't know what I'm doing. Vibe depth? Trim depth? I'm gonna leave it off. All right, back to that harmonizer now. Turn it on. We want G, major, very nice. You can tell that I'm not a singer, by the way. It takes me a moment to slide into it. Get more distortion from that two screamer. Try on some other stuff. I want more verb. There we go. More reverb on my voice too, please. There we go. All right. Hey. All right. That's fun! Do you guys think that's fun? I think it's fun. Turn off all this other stuff. There's a distortion too. Turn that up. Yeah! There we go! That's dirty! That's the dirty stuff. Let's see if I can pull this off. I was doing it the other night and it felt great. It's always a little different when the camera's rolling. Sitting on a curved back couch, my mind it rolls, reminds me it was so easy. Now let's hear it without the auto-tune and the harmony. Sitting on a curved back couch, my mind it rolls, reminds me it was so easy. Trip along my mindless, waveless thoughts, they carry on. Trip along my mindless, waveless thoughts, they carry on. Sitting on a curved back couch, mine was so easy. It's a trip. Let's turn all that off. It's a trip to sing and have that pitch correction in real time and hear what my voice could sound like if I was better skilled at singing. Although, like, If I set this up somewhere where I can use it often, I might sing more often. It feels good. It feels good to sing through it. I'll say that. Let's do something a little different now. I'm going to turn off the harmony. Go to vocal stuff. And there's something hiding in here. There's a lot of stuff in here to mess around with for vocal stuff. But there is a vocoder talk box setting. There we go. Hey, there it is. All right. We're about to have some real fun. I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I can taste you on my lips and smell you in my clothes. Cinnamon and sugar, our softly spoken wise. Lower. Never know just how you look through other people's eyes. Trip along. Oh man, there's a lot to mess with here, and it all sounds fun. You don't even have to talk. You can just make vocal sounds, and it'll filter it through this guitar vocoder synth thing. It's so much fun. Oh, man. So, yeah, like all that stuff combined with amp cloning. You've got a great full looper in here. The practice tool, which is super powerful. Metronome, all the other stuff. Like, why am I talking into this? I think it's a really solid unit. It sounds great. It's easy to use. It's got some very powerful features going on. It drips. It's a contender. I want to know what you guys think, though. If you already have like a floorboard modeling unit and you think that this might fit your needs better, let me know down in the comments section. And the reverse of that, if you already have something and you think that this wouldn't fit your needs better, feel free to talk about it in the comments section. Let's have discussions, guys. So anyways, huge thanks to Headrush for sending this out to me. I've been having a blast with it. And I have a feeling I'm going to have more fun with it. I mean, I've got a bunch of other products around here that do the guitar thing, but the vocal stuff and the amp capture stuff, the amp cloning, I've got a clone of a microcube now. And I want to use it. I've been dreaming of that forever. Probably like 20 years now I've been wanting that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, dislike, leave me rude, nasty comments. Support us on Patreon. Buy a shirt if you're naked, and stay grounded. Bye, everybody.